Hello and welcome to Writer Rant, author advice in 5 minutes or less because I have to get back to writing and so do you. So today, something I'd like to discuss is glossaries. I have no problem with glossaries if they're in the back of the book. If they're in the front of the book, that's where I have some problems. And I've noticed this a couple times, and a lot of times this is in books that are written by authors who maybe aren't nearly as experienced in the craft. I don't know their background. It's just a matter of when I read a book and I start by essentially reading, here's a description of all the unique things that make this world interesting, or here's a description of all these different people. So essentially like a cast of characters. It's like, why do you do that? Why would you need to do that? If anything, your writing should be good enough that your exposition, now granted, some people are like, oh, you don't want to dump all the exposition all in one place. And yes, I understand that. But exposition is still important. And good exposition will keep your reader interested and it'll convey information so that you don't just have to dump it all in the front of the book and then just say, oh, hey, yeah, no, remember I told you at the beginning of the book about all of these things that you should immediately remember every time they come up, instead of kind of integrating it in and like making it, why is that important? Why do you need to give us this information straight out of the gate when it needs to be, kind of part of the development of the characters to kind of show, oh, hey, this character is like this, instead of straight up first page saying, here are your main characters. They are like this. These are their physical characteristics. It's like, yeah, it's essentially, it's a cheat. It's a way of getting around the exposition dump, but, not really bogging down your story at the same time. And it's like, yeah, but it's so disjointed. I mean, it's really not necessary. If you need a glossary, like if you're in a fantasy world, I just read one the other day, and it's set in the Pathfinder universe. And I don't play the Pathfinder role-playing game, tabletop game. So it was really useful when they had a glossary in the back of the book to kind of say, hey, here's kind of the minutia of all these terms that they use in the book. But most of the terms I could kind of figure out just via context. Like I didn't even really need the glossary. Like I got all the way to the end, I'm like, oh, hey, there's a glossary here. And that was kind of useful, but again, I'd already gotten all the way through the book, so if I really needed to know it, then yeah, maybe putting it up in the front, it tells you how important it is, but if it's really important, it's got to be critical to your story. Because otherwise it's just, again, it's a cheat. It's a cheap way of putting in information without really doing the writer's work to get it in there correctly. Anyways, what do you think about glossaries? Do you think they should be in the back? Do you think they should be in the front? You think you don't need them at all? Leave a comment below, and maybe I'll, we'll have a discussion about it. But if there's anything else that you are a little frustrated about in terms of what you're seeing in writing today, again, just drop a comment below, and maybe I'll get to it in a future episode. So thanks for watching this week's Writer Rant. I'm Benjamin M. Weilert.